Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for joining me tonight on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Now, you'll see my head kind of move back and forth because we have two cameras set up, and perhaps one day we'll be able to set one camera up to feed it in to everyone. We have a lot to talk about within a short period of time, so I'm going to get right to it. To begin with, I want to thank all of you who have joined us as partners for New Jersey Team Trump. We have a good, solid group of people who are sending out our Make America Great Again briefings all over the country. We are getting a lot of good responses, and people are telling us, frankly, that they did not know that the president has had such a record of accomplishments since he took office that they're going to be spreading the word and spreading it far and wide. So we encourage you to join us. Become part of New Jersey Team Trump. Doesn't cost you anything. We never ask you for contributions or donations, but we do ask you for your time. And you could work right out of your house. All we do is to ask you to sign up for our Make America Great Again briefings. They go out every Monday. One went out today. And on those briefings will be facts, not false news, facts about the president's accomplishments, facts about New Jersey Team Trump, what we're up to, where we're going, and what we're going to do to help the president get his agenda passed across the country. We do have midterm elections coming up in New Jersey. We are in the process of vetting candidates. If you're interested in running for Congress or the United States Senate, I encourage you to email us. We will be in touch with you. We've already got some people who have responded. We're going to be talking with them. We have gone over their resumes. We're going to be looking at those resumes, and then we're going to be speaking to them one-on-one. So if you are interested in running for Congress, if you are interested in running for the Senate, the United States Senate, I encourage you to email us. But we do have a prerequisite, and that is this, that you are in 100% support of President Donald Trump's Make America Great Again agenda. Anyone running for office that cannot utter the words, I support Donald Trump, in my view, they're not going to get our support, at least here from the New Jersey Team Trump. Donald Trump got elected to office with a mandate from the people, of the people, and by the people. He has kept his word to the American people. He has made a lot of promises, and so far, he's kept every promise. It is the United States Congress, it is the United States Senate that continues to block in every way, shape, and form his agenda. The president said he will sign a health care bill, and these individuals in Congress can't even get together to do what's right for the American people. No one says that what we are trying to get passed is perfect. Nothing is perfect, but it is a beginning. It is a start. So we get stuck with Obamacare every day. Millions of Americans are without health care. It's about time that the United States Congress shape up, or we're going to ship them out. You'll hear more about that on what we're going to do in New Jersey to ensure that at least in some congressional districts, those individuals who are in the swamp are going to be challenged in a primary. We've got a few individuals who have been in touch with us already, and we are going to be interviewing them within the next few weeks. Interested in running for Congress or the U.S. Senate? Get in touch with us. I'll give you the emails in a few minutes. New Jersey Team Trump is looking for you, and by the way, if you are out of the state, we have heard from people all over the country. Email us. We'll put you on our distro list because I can tell you this, Team Trump, the New Jersey Team Trump program, we're going to spread around the country. There will be New York Team Trump, there will be PA Team Trump, there'll be Texas Team Trump, there'll be Team Trumps all over the country. We're starting now, we're starting early because we have a lot of work to do. We know what we're up against, and we're going to defeat what we are up against because we have a president who is really truly looking out for the best interest of the people of this country and not the political party. To me, that is very, very refreshing. Now, let's talk about a couple of things that have gone on this week. And by the way, when I ask you in a few minutes, I'm going to give you some time to bring up some of your questions, and I'm going to look at that camera there because if you have any questions, I'm going to want you to ask them, but hold off until I give you the green light because it's going to be difficult for me to talk about some of the things that we're talking about and taking your questions. Let's talk about the NFL. The National Football League has disappointed the American people. The National Football League used to be a place where you could take your children and stand tall and proud for the American flag, for American principles, and watch a football game. Now, the National Football League has become part of a vicious political cycle that is not protesting anything but the American flag and Donald J. Trump. This is the fact. The fact is that when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, he slapped every American in his face. Does he have the right to do that? Of course. The First Amendment allows him to do it. But the question that needs to be answered, was it right? And the answer is wrong. It was not right. To me, it's unpatriotic. It's a bad role model for our children, where many Americans are trying to bring them up in a way that they will respect the American flag. They will respect our country. Look, if they don't want to agree with all of the things that are going on in the country, and no one is 100% in agreement with all of the things going on, but we should at the very least respect the office of president and respect our American flag and respect our veterans and respect the principles in which this nation was founded upon. The National Football League respects nothing but money. Folks, I tweeted this out the other day, and please understand what I'm saying. All they care about is the color green. They don't care about red, white, and blue. And although some people are trying to make this into a black-white racist issue, they don't care about the black people. They don't care about white people. The National Football League cares about money, green. And as soon as we start hitting them economically, you know what? You're going to see them turn their tune. Look, I've learned something from the Al Sharptons of the world, who I am not a fan of. You know that. But Al Sharpton and what he created years ago when he was starting to protest, you know what he did? Him, the Democrats, the liberals, and progressives, they want to strike. They decided that they were not going to go into stores that sell certain items. They made phone calls. They made it clear to the sponsors of these people who disagreed with them that they were going to suffer economically, and it worked. So let's use their playbook. What we need to do is to not only make phone calls, but we need to make it clear that we are not going to support any company that is going to support the NFL. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Their economic base is going to dry up. These football players are not going to get the money that they're due by the NFL. And the bottom line is, once we start squeezing them economically, they're going to learn a lesson. Folks, we have the power. The question is, do you? And thousands of you watch this. I love football. I think football is one of the greatest sports next to baseball, where on a Sunday you could get away from the politics of everything. You could watch a football game and relax. But you know what? What I don't love is what they have done to the NFL and what they've done to the American old-time sports. So here's how I'm going to respond. I'm not watching. Sunday, family. Let's go back in time. Let's make it Family Day. I'd rather spend time with my wife, my kids, my grandchildren, and my dog Bear than watch those individuals on TV for an hour. We don't need to do that. So let's not watch them. And now here's the key to not watching them. When you don't watch them, in the old days they'd have to pick up the phone to survey, what did you watch on this given day? Well, these days, all you got to do is turn the channel and they get a signal that so many people are watching this broadcast. So this Sunday, I'm blacking out the NFL. In fact, in an hour from now, in a short period of time, is Monday Night Football. There is a reason why I'm now on Monday night, urging you to shut down Monday Night Football tonight. Now, if you want to do something, maybe tune in during halftime and watch and see who sponsors them. And when those commercials come up, you write those names down, find out where the corporate headquarters is, and tell them, you know what, I am not going to buy your product. I am not going to buy any of your products because you endorse a program. You are financing a football program that has slapped every American in the face. Now, of course, when I talk about this on CNN or wherever I'm going to be on Friday, I've got to tell you, I'm going to have a question. I have a question for those of you on the left who tune in, those progressives who are watching now. I have this question, and I want one of you to answer this question, and I'm watching this roll. When Tim Tebow knelt, he kneeled on a football field in prayer, all hell broke loose. The NFL owners said, you know, we can't back this behavior. You don't kneel on a football field to pray. Do that off the field, Tim Tebow. Do it off the field. We don't support the idea of praying and demonstrating prayer on the field. And then time went on, and Tim Tebow was out of football. He was a good player, a talented player, but nobody's going to tell me that the NFL didn't release him because of his talent. He was talented. They released him because they didn't want the controversy of a National Football League American getting on his knees and showing the world, and our children especially, and our grandchildren, that, yeah, we are a nation who embraces God and country. That's why Tim Tebow was released, and nobody's going to tell me different. And now we are here all these years later where we have individuals getting on their knees in protest, according to them, in protest of the American flag. And you know, that's only part of the story, folks. They're in protest of the President of the United States and the NFL, the same organization who showed Tim Tebow the exit door. They embrace the Columbacks. They embrace the individuals who are simply, in my view, not patriotic. And I agree. The First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States allows them to do what they do. But it is not right. It is improper. So the National Football League, as far as I'm concerned, is no longer on my list of those American patriotic organizations to point our children to look up to. I would much rather, and I will make sure, and I will certainly ask my son and my daughters to ensure that they point their children away from the NFL. They are a disgrace. Support college football, support your high school football. I pray to God that these young children who are involved in football programs don't go down a road and see these disgraceful individuals on a football field turning their back on the American flag. I pray to God, because kids, you know, they see stuff, they want to be part of these, like these football players and baseball players. We have to step up as parents, and we have to show them, yeah, they have the right to do it. We will never say they don't have the right, but just because you have the right doesn't mean that it is right. I stand shoulder to shoulder with the President of the United States of America, who seems to be one of the very few individuals who's doing what? He's leading our country. He's standing up for the flag. He's standing up for our heritage, for the character of this nation, for what the founding fathers meant. And let's talk about that for a minute. Do you think Jefferson, Lincoln, Adams, Washington, do you think they would stand? You'd think they would stand for what's going on today? Absolutely not. And here's an irony of what happened in London. Those National Football League players who knelt during the United States national anthem and stood up proudly for the British national anthem, did they forget that it was the British that brought slavery to this country during the Revolutionary War? Did they forget that the British enslaved the colonists, for goodness sakes? Did they forget all these things? You see, the National Football League players, they don't get it. They don't understand American history. Not all of them, but those, I believe, who are protesting. There's such a hypocrisy here. Did they forget that? In fact, have the National Football League players who are protesting this country and the flag, did they forget? It was a Republican. It was Abraham Lincoln who worked hard to free slavery, to abolish slavery. It wasn't the Democrats. It wasn't the liberals. It wasn't the progressives who did that. Know your American history, NFL, and you might find out that you're on the wrong side of the historical record. So the point is, folks, they're going to do it. They're going to follow the lead. Hollywood, they're going to do their thing. In fact, I've got to tell you, I don't see the John Waynes out there anymore. I don't see the Audie Murphys. I don't see the good actors. In fact, I don't see good, clean comedy like Jackie Gleason, Audrey Meadows, Andy Griffith. I don't see those things anymore. And they're not corny, folks, because those stories, those movies, those particular comedians, they brought a moral value, moral clarity in their stories. Today, all we see on the air is a lot of filth, a lot of dirt, a lot of politics. And look, I don't condemn people who watch these things, all right? I don't. Look, at people find entertainment in many different ways. But what I do condemn is Hollywood making millions and millions and billions of dollars, perhaps, and the NFL making millions and millions of dollars perhaps out of our pocket. We don't have to support that. Isn't it amazing how the NFL kind of says little about NFL players who are on drugs, who have been arrested for drug abuse, drug enhancements? Isn't it interesting that they don't say much about domestic violence and maybe somebody beat somebody in an elevator or in a hallway? They don't say much about it. They do say something about it. They say just enough so that they don't lose the $1 million player. Because if they fired that player, if they suspended that player, the NFL team who has that player knows full well that they might lose a football game. And if they lose a football game, they're losing dollars. They're losing profit. The bottom line is profit. Has nothing to do with the flag, has nothing to do with standing up for some rights. It has nothing to do with protesting other than the president. It has everything to do, insofar as the NFL is concerned, with money. Believe me, folks, the bottom line is always money when it comes to corporations. Profit. As soon as they begin to see the profit sink, as soon as they begin to see the ratings sink, you're going to see them turn their tune. Now, some people have said that they don't think that their little turning off of the TV or not buying NFL products is going to help. It's going to help. But it's going to be up to all of us. Look, as soon as you turn on the NFL football game tonight, it's going to register that you're watching. It's going to, through the cable networks, they're going to know you're watching. They may not know it's you, but the numbers are going to go up. As soon as you buy an NFL baseball cap or an NFL sweatshirt, it's a profit. So the way we hit them is we boycott their products, we shut them down. Those of you who are going to go to football games, look, first of all, you bought your season tickets. I get it. You bought your season tickets. You spent a lot of money, a lot. And you know what? Many of us, I used to have giant football tickets. I had to give them up because I couldn't afford them anymore. These tickets are for pretty well-to-do people these days. And I'm not well-to-do, okay? I'm just like everybody else. But when I have bills to pay, when I have a family to feed, when I have a family to support, I had to make some priorities in life and give up my football tickets. That means somebody else got them. But that somebody else who may be listening tonight, you could help your country. And I said this the other night at a meeting. If our soldiers and our sailors and our airmen and our Marines and all of those who have fought for this country could go on battlefields across this globe and shed their blood, I could give up one football game on a Sunday afternoon. Can you do that? Can you give up one football game this Sunday? Just don't go. Could you imagine when these players get out on the field and see, I hope to God, at least 50% of those seats empty? Sure, the owners already got their money, but a very, very loud message will be sent. So it's up to us. It's up to the American people. Either we stand by that flag and this country and send a message, both physically by not going to the football games, both physically again by not going to the TV tonight and Sunday and watching football, if we can do that, and by not buying or shopping or getting involved in any type of NFL activities, if we can do that for a sustained period of time, they're going to turn their tune. I'm talking about the NFL owners. Now, my hat's off to the owners who have stood strong. My hat's off to that one lone Steeler football player. If you got his name, who's ever watching, put it up there. I think it's Villanueva, something like that. That football player from the Pittsburgh Steelers stood by himself out on the field and stood tall, putting his hand over his heart in honor of our flag. And from what I hear, there are reports that he got criticized and ridiculed even by his coach. Shame on that coach. So, here's your chance. People ask me constantly, what can I do to help my country? What can I do to help the President of the United States? And what you can do is act. Act. No more NFL in the house. No more NFL football, going to the games, watching them. Look, I know you got season tickets. I know at one point you're going to go to the games. That's fine. But if you could not go to one game and there are 50, 60,000 people who decide not to show up at one game, that will send a message. But more importantly, folks, this is what you can do. If you want to go to the football game, that's your business. But what you can do is make a list of the sponsors of NFL football on television and call those corporate headquarters. Put their names up in lights on social media. We have the power of social media. We, the people of this country, have the power of social media. That's why I'm on tonight. That's why we have 108,000 people following us on Twitter. That's why we've got nearly 20,000 plus, up to 90,000 people on Facebook following us and watching us. That's why we have over 2,000 people on Instagram. And I could go on and on and on. We've got the power, folks. We have the power, and we need to use it. Let's use the power that the Constitution of the United States gave us. More than rallies, more than anything else, we have the power because we have the power to take back from them our money. Sunday, the Lord's Day. Let's make it that day this Sunday. And I urge you, boycott, shut out, shut down, stay away from football, NFL football. Watch a college game. Watch the high school games. Can you do that? I hope you can. It'll send a message. Now, start asking your questions and I'll begin to answer them. And in the meantime, the email address to Team Trump, very important. AM as in Mary, P as in Peter. AMP at teamtrumpnj.us. AMP at teamtrumpnj.us. If you send an email to us and ask us for information about New Jersey Team Trump, we'll get it to you. And we'll put you on our distro list, and you will be able to get all the information about the president's accomplishments. All right? Michelle's asking about North Korea. Here's what's going on. The President of the United States has been very clear and very firm on the North Korean crisis. He has made a promise, America first. He has made a promise that he will not allow any country to arm itself with a nuclear weapon and to bully us into making a deal that will hurt the people of the United States of America. So, our rocket man over there in North Korea, he better understand what the consequences will be if he decides to detonate a hydrogen bomb in the Pacific, if he decides to very clearly threaten the security of the United States. The president has been clear, and there's no other option at that time than to do what the president might have to do. But let me add this. The president of the United States is not looking for a war. He is not a warmonger. He is taking all steps necessary to ensure that there is a diplomatic solution to the problem. This is why he sent Nikki Haley to the United Nations. This is why he has tried to get China to get involved and Russia. This is why he is rallying the allies around the globe to engage North Korea and to knock some sense into Rocket Man. Now, if Rocket Man doesn't get it, he just may get a rocket. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but there are military options on the table, and believe me, we've learned from the past. Wasn't it a Democrat? Wasn't his name Bill Clinton that appeased North Korea? Google, North Korea, Bill Clinton. See what happened during that period of time. Wasn't it a bad Iranian deal? We appeased the Iranians. What happened there? You know, this Congress makes me laugh. For 40 years, at least that I've been involved in politics, we've had gridlock. We've had nothing significant happen to help the American people and to defend us from these lunatics that have been let loose because of the neglect of years and years and years of appeasement. Now we have a president who's standing up strong, standing up tall and saying, that's it, guys. You know what? There's a new sheriff in town, and there is a brand new way of doing business. And that is to strongly, unequivocally represent the people of this nation within the framework of the Constitution of the United States of America. That is exactly what President Donald Trump is doing. And they can't take it. They just can't take it. Well, too bad. They're going to have to take him and the millions of us that are standing with him. Believe me. and we're going to win this. Look, I've said all along that this is not a 4-year presidency. This is an 8-year presidency. And within these first 4 years, we're going to go through bumps and bruises, but we're going to be standing tall. And when he runs for re-election in 2020, he is going to win by a landslide. Because between now and then, if the GOP and the Democrats and the liberals and progressives, if somehow they block him every step of the way, the country's going to go to hell in a handbasket. Annette, what do you think of term limits? Annette, I believe in term limits. I know the president believes in term limits. I am on the city council, which we call a board of commissioners, in the township of Nutley, New Jersey. The week I got reelected in May of 2016, I announced that it would be my last term. I know I can get reelected over and over again. I really do. I have enough confidence I can. But I believe in term limits, and one must practice what he or she preaches. So, at the end of my term, which will be in May of 2020, I will walk away. I will walk away, and you know what I'm going to do? I will walk away from my elected official post and continue to work very hard for the President of the United States of America. There's a much bigger picture for me here, and that's my country. I could run for re-election, as many could. I could work very hard as I am now on ensuring that the people of my community are safe and that we're delivering the best services we can and keeping taxes at a level that's manageable. I can do that on and on and on, as many other politicians do. But there comes a time, at least in my view, and I don't condemn anyone who thinks differently. If they want to run for office forever, go right ahead. Maybe one day we'll have term limits all over the board, from local to federal government. But my point is this. There comes a time when you take your talents and the skills that God has given you and use them for a greater cause. And that greater cause is the United States of America. That greater cause to me is helping the very man we elected to office, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. That's the cause. Getting taxes lowered this year, I believe that the president, right now, he's working so hard on getting a tax reform bill passed. I believe that by the end of the year, if we don't have the gridlock that we have now over health care, that the president is going to see to it that the taxes are going to get lowered. That's his goal. But we have a problem, as we have with health care. John McCain and a couple of senators still will not vote for the health care reform bill. I read tonight where it's just about dead. Why are they doing this? They are making people believe that they're doing it because they're looking out for the American people. How do you look out for the American people when you continue to maintain Obamacare? This is what I don't get. So those of you in Arizona, and many of you are on our Team Trump list, maybe you need to recall this guy. That's right. You have the power of recall. You could throw people out of office anytime you want if you use that power. So you look it up on Google, on your state election commission law website. Just put in, how do I recall an elected official? You'd be surprised the power you have. And you know what? You just might succeed. We need to begin to use the power that we have. And that power, folks, that we have can change America within days. We need to be educated. We need to understand our power. All within the Constitution of the United States. And that's the president's philosophy. We work within the Constitution of the United States. We do what we must do to ensure that that Constitution is maintained and strengthened and that America's first. How about that? So, what I basically shared with you tonight, and I'm going to wind down, is turn off the NFL. Turn off that NFL, folks. If you turn it on, these meters or however they measure this stuff are going to say, hey, not you, but somebody watched the NFL, and that helps their ratings go up. If you do turn it on, try to figure out when halftime is. Get the list of the sponsors. I'm going to do that tonight. I'll figure out when halftime is. I'm going to get the sponsors, and then I'm making my calls tomorrow. That's number one. Number two, no NFL products in this house. Number three, Sunday. Wouldn't it be great to see Sunday once again become family day? To get the family together. The weather's nice, have a barbecue. Go to Coney Island. Go somewhere. What an idea, right? What an idea. What a great idea. Maybe, just maybe, it could be Family Day. And let's get together with our wives, our husbands, our children, our grandmas. Maybe we could start a movement to bring America back to the family, back to the table. That would be terrific. So that will be my Sunday. And then NJ, New Jersey Team Trump. Send us an email. AMP Team Trump, New Jersey, NJ at US. In fact, somebody just put my name up there, and it's not me, but that's good. That's our website. Go to our website. You'll see where it says volunteer. Punch that. If you volunteer, all you're volunteering for is to get our information. That will populate you into our data bank, which, by the way, is strictly confidential. And you watch. You're going to start getting Make America Great Again briefings every single Monday. And what are on those briefings? Facts. It gets rid of the emotion. It gets rid of the fake news. You'll have facts that you'll be able to share with your friends and neighbors. TeamTrump.us. That's the website. What do you think of that? So, folks, I just want to let you know that Team Trump, New Jersey, is on the march. We're doing good. We're doing great. I tell you, and here's something I find interesting. A lot of conservative Democrats are now joining the ranks because they've had it with the swamp. They've had it with empty promises. They've just had it. And we have a president now who we know is not perfect, by golly. We know he's not perfect. But he is a man who is keeping his promises. And I tell you, I wouldn't be on this team if I didn't believe in him. And you know, I was on his team from day one. I was on his team since the day he came down that elevator, and I'm sticking with him. And I remember, and I'll wrap it up with this, I remember the day before I was going to endorse Donald Trump as president. My wife said to me, you realize you're up for re-election. You realize you're going to pay a price. And I said, Natasha, there is a greater cause than me running for re-election. And that causes our country. And if we have a president who's running, then he's going to need our collective talents and skills to get elected as president. Well, I did run. I didn't get where I wanted to be, but I got reelected. But you know what? The great part of the story is we stood by our guns. We stood with the president. And look where we are today. All of us, you and me, the president, his team, coming together to do what? To make America great again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to get here every Monday night at 7 o'clock. Look, I'll be on TV between now and Friday. I believe I have a program on CNN on Friday. Now, let me just say one thing about that, because I know people are asking, gee, why CNN? Fox is great. Folks, please listen to me. When I say we, Team Trump, we figured it out. There are many independents and Democrats who tune in to CNN as well as Fox. We're speaking to them, and they're starting to think. They're starting to realize that when there are people who are on television, and we've got a great team. You've seen them, whether it be Laura Ingraham, whether it be Stephen Moore, whether it be Lara Trump, whether it be John Pence, whether it be Mark Serrano. These are names. Harlan Hill. Look out for these names. These are people on television, very, very articulate in bringing the president's message to the American people. Now, very soon, we're going to be getting around the state. We have some individuals running for office who have uttered the words that they support Donald Trump. Once elected officials and candidates utter those words and articulate some of the programs he supports, we're going to go out and we're going to do what we can to get them elected. If they don't, they don't. I will say this. Anybody running on the Republican ticket in New Jersey, vote for them. Vote for them. I don't want to see a Democrat elected. No way in the state of New Jersey. But when it comes to actively campaigning, I will go out and do what I can to ensure that individuals running for office, whether it be here in Virginia, because we're pretty active down there now, I'm going to be darn sure we will do everything we could to help them get elected, so long as they utter the words, I support President Donald J. Trump and his Make America Great Again policies. We will never be used by people who are not sincere, by people who have turned their back on us, by people who think that they've got a ticket to get reelected because they just simply feel they're entitled to it. It is not going to happen. Somebody else wants to do it, fine. But we know full well that we have the power. We are organized and we have the power. It's up to you and it's up to me to stand strong and firm on our beliefs. And what are our beliefs? Our beliefs are in America. That's where our beliefs are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Look for us on Fox, on CNN. Look for us on YouTube, on Twitter, and Facebook. Have any questions? Email us. Just email us. We get back to you, folks. Believe me. We got a lot of emails. If it takes a little time, we'll get back to you. That's M as in Mary, P as in Peter, teamtrumpnj.us. Email that. We're going to post it when we post this. Thank you. God bless America. God bless you and your family. And God bless the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.